Today on Comicstorian, we're going to look at what happens if Peter Parker becomes the Hulk. This is the Comicstorian channel where I take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites. Then I read them dramatically back to you. I turn them into a synopsis, cutting out a lot of the fluff and additional content, giving you something to go to your local comic book store and buy to support the industry or get the next issue in the series so that you know what's going on. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Today we're going to be doing a one-off issue that came out during the Immortal Hulk run. Now this is the run in which Bruce Banner and the Hulk were separate entities with inside of his mind, and there was different versions of the Hulk and stuff like that. Well, during this run there was a lot of one-off fun storylines in which the Hulk interacted with the rest of the universe. And in Spider-Man's case, well, that's what's about to happen. They're going to interact and we're going to see what happens. I don't want to spoil too much more for you as this isn't a long issue and it's not an ongoing series. It's just a fun one-off. So let's get into Hulk/Spider-Man, one and only issue. As Bruce Banner wakes up in the middle of Tribeca, he knows that something is wrong. Something is missing. He can't remember what happened. It's not the first time that he's woken up confused in a crater though, and it probably won't be the last. But there's one glaring problem. It's nighttime. This is supposed to be the time that the Hulk would come out. But the Hulk is gone. He can't feel him. Always at the edge, just under his skin, but the Hulk is not there. As Bruce tries to figure things out, he hears Spider-Man getting up asking, "Are you okay? Not sure what hit us. Just stay behind me. Spider-Sense is going crazy. It's like it's everywhere around us. No, not closing in. It's in me. It's in!" Spider-Man begins to scream, but it's not the normal scream of a person. It's the scream of the Hulk. A Hulk that is now inside of Spider-Man. Bruce tries to calm him down, telling him that he knows what it's like to be scared, and Spider-Hulk turns to him, "Scared, not scared, angry, Osborn!" Spider-Hulk says as he whips up to a building. Bruce runs over to a payphone to make a call, but through the city, Spider-Hulk is swinging from building to building, jumping off and taking chunks of them with him, yelling, "Stupid sticky walls!" But before he could get too far, a voice calls out to him, "Hey, your friendly neighborhood Fantastic Four is here to help." The Thing finishes as he sees Spider-Hulk fling himself at them and he sighs, "Aw, crap." The punch from Spider-Hulk launches them both from the top of the building all the way into the sewers, where the two begin to deliver thunderous hits back and forth. The Thing manages to grab a hold of him, whispering, "Hey, Peter, you still in there?" Spider-Hulk gives the Thing a powerful headbutt, yelling, "No, Peter, Parker's secret!" As the Thing stumbles back, the rest of the team jumps down with Reed wrapping his arms around Spider-Hulk trying to subdue him. With nowhere to go, Spider-Hulk tries to free himself and Thing yells, "I'm sorry about this," and he hits the ground. When Spider-Hulk doesn't get back up, Thing cracks his knuckles, telling him, "Okay, I think I've clobbered enough." Up top, Bruce Banner looks down, telling them, "Okay, we have to get him out of here. I know a place where we can figure this out." So a few hours later, at a former military research base in Astra Island, the sun begins to shine down with Spider-Man reverting to his old self, telling him, "I'm sorry for all of this." Reed tells him that they need to get out of here before the night falls. They'll return to New York and they'll look over the cameras to see if there's any answer as to how this could have happened. Thing offers to stay, but Bruce tells him no. You beat him. This Hulk will remember that. He'll be the one to stay. So not long after night begins to fall, Bruce and Spider-Man sit beside a fire. Spider-Man says that he doesn't want to turn into that Thing again. He just doesn't like not being in control. He really should go. Bruce tells him that he knows how it feels and no, he won't go. He knows what it's like to be alone. This way, they both aren't alone. The night begins to set, and Spider-Man's eyes begin to change. The next morning, Spider-Man wakes up and calls out to Bruce, who walks up telling him, "It's all right. You did a healthy amount of smashing, but you never harmed me. Pretty cathartic, huh?" At that moment, Reed and the others touch down, and Reed says that he was able to access the CCTV footage from Tribeca. The Hulk was headed through New York from the direction of Long Island, and Spider-Man confronted him. But then someone else showed up. Reed holds up the tablet, and everyone looks at it, seeing the image of Loki, brother to Thor. Loki attempted to stop the Hulk, but when the Hulk responded back to his taunts in a rather articulate way with minimal cursing, Loki saw a chance. This Hulk was different from the others, and the source of his power was energy, so Loki decided to use that against him, and he cast the power out. Bruce says that they need to pay Loki a visit, but Johnny says not with those ripped clothes. So Spider-Man changes into a new costume, and Bruce puts on a Fantastic Four shirt. But before they leave, Spider-Man looks at them and tells them, "You know, with all of you wearing a 4 and there being 5 of you, it just looks like none of you can count." So after a short hop over into New York, Bruce and the others find Loki at one of the many hot dog stands, and Loki tells them, "Ah, fellow heroes. Wait, 5 fours? Can you not count?" Bruce yells at him that his gamma radiation was pushed out of him, and Loki waves his hand. "No need to thank me, I saved you." But Spider-Man yells, "And you got it in me instead." Loki looks back again. "Oh, my bad. Well, I was trying to help. I am a hero now." Well, maybe a hero in progress. Anyway, I can't undo the spell. I could, but it could just make things worse for you. So you're kind of on your own with this one. With no real answers, everyone heads back to Reed's lab to try and figure out what to do next. Bruce says that they need to figure out a scientific solution to this magical problem. And then he whispers to Sue, asking if they should really be letting Spider-Man in on this. Sue tells him that he'll be surprised just how smart Spider-Man is. And as Spider-Man begins to give his hypothesis on how he was the one who absorbed the Hulk because of his radioactive nature, Bruce is kind of stunned. But Spider-Man continues. Loki mentioned that this Hulk was different. Why? So Bruce explains that this Hulk is a sort of battery, losing gamma radiation, using it in different ways, and then absorbing it. Absorbing it. Bruce turns to Reed asking, "Is it possible?" In a controlled manner. Back at Astra Island, Reed finishes construction of his Gamma Blast box, and Bruce says that the explosion should be controlled, so long as his numbers are correct. Spider-Man tells him, "Yeah, I should just be a little bit Hulk." After strapping Bruce in, Reed and Sue leave, stating that the sun sets at 6:57. They need to activate the machine at 6:56. So they leave the island, and time begins to tick away to the activation, and right at 6:56, Spider-Man flips the switch. As the machine blasts Bruce with gamma radiation, outside, Spider-Man begins to Hulk out. The blast door flies off the hinges, and a gamma-enhanced Bruce steps out, telling Spider-Hulk, "You have something that doesn't belong to you. Come and get it, little Hulk," Spider-Hulk tells him. The two slug it out the way Hulks do, but Bruce manages to get one clean hit in. Spider-Hulk rubs his jaw. "Ow, what'd you do?" And Bruce tells him, "I'm taking it back." Bruce grabs a hold of Spider-Hulk and begins to absorb the gamma back when Bruce's eyes begin to change. And a few moments later, Spider-Man hands Bruce his pants, telling him, "Here you go. Did it work? It's nighttime and there's no sign of the Hulk. Any Hulks." Bruce puts his pants on, telling him, "Mine will be back tomorrow." I could feel him. But Spider-Man tells him he understands it now. That fear of losing control, of losing yourself. There's no way that fear goes away. Bruce tells him, "No, you don't understand." Spider-Man looks up at the moon, telling him it's still night, but he'll stay with him. Just this once. He won't have to be alone when he fades. The two sit at the beach, and Bruce changes, and the Hulk looks over. "What are you doing, Peter?" Spider-Man says, "Just giving you a hug," and wait, Peter, how do you know my identity? "You made everyone forget. Banner forgot, but the Hulk did not." Great. Glad a rampaging monster knows my identity. No offense, but Banner brought you back. "Yeah. I wasn't gone. Not entirely. I was in the dark screaming. But no one could hear me. Again. But you stayed with Banner?" Spider-Man nods and Hulk goes on. "That's something I can't do. Banner is family. I'd do anything for him, but I can't be with him. I'm glad he had someone." As Hulk walks into the ocean, he tells Spider-Man, "You're a good man. I'll try and remember that the next time that we meet." And there you have it, a fun little one-off of what if Spider-Man turned into the Hulk. I enjoyed this storyline. I thought you guys might as well, so I wanted to bring it to you just as a fun one-off story. If you want to see what happened during the Hulk during this period, I'll link you the Immortal Hulk full story down below, and if you want to know what was happening to Spider-Man at this period, I'll link you Nick Spencer's run for Spider-Man. They were both doing different things at this time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you know when we put out a new video, and I'll see you guys real soon right here. We put out comic book related videos like 5 to 7 days a week. Hope to see you.